What if nothing around you is actually real? The walls, the sky, the people, even your own body, all of it just a projection. It sounds like science fiction, but this idea isn't new. Across the halls of quantum physics and the temples of ancient mystery schools, a chilling truth begins to echo. Reality might not be solid, it might be encoded. In the 20th century, physicist David Bohm proposed that the universe functions like a hologram, where every part contains the whole. Pribram argued that your brain processes the world holographically. More recently, Maldacena suggested that our three-dimensional universe might be encoded on a two-dimensional boundary, just like a holographic film. But long before these theories, mystics from Hermetic Egypt, Vedic India, and Gnostic sects already whispered the same truth. The world is not what it seems. They called it Maya, illusion, the veil, not because it's fake, but because it's flexible. Everything you see, every form, every face, every fear, might just be data, vibrating, shimmering, reacting to you. And if that's true, then the biggest question isn't what is real. It's this: if reality is a hologram, who or what is the projector? Part 1. The holographic model, science behind the illusion. In the world of modern physics, something strange has emerged. A theory so radical, it's forcing science to reconsider the nature of reality itself. It's called the holographic principle. And it begins with a paradox. When physicists studied black holes, they noticed something odd. The amount of information, entropy, that could be stored inside a black hole didn't increase with its volume, but with its surface area. This led to a terrifying implication. Everything that happens inside the black hole might actually be encoded on its surface. Just like a hologram, this insight became the foundation for a revolutionary theory, that our entire universe might work the same way. In 1997, physicist Maldacena introduced the ADS-CFT correspondence, a mathematical model showing that a lower dimensional reality could contain all the information of a higher one. In essence, a two-dimensional field, projecting a three-dimensional universe. Sound familiar? But Maldacena wasn't the first to see it. In the 1980s, David Bohm, a quantum physicist and student of Einstein, suggested that reality has two layers. One is the explicate order, what we see. The other, deeper layer is the implicate order, a hidden interconnected field from which reality unfolds. According to Bohm, this field behaves like a hologram. Each part of the universe contains the whole. Separation is illusion. Pribram, a neuroscientist, took it one step further. He proposed that the human brain also functions holographically. That memory, perception, and consciousness itself might be organized in non-local patterns, just like a hologram. Put these theories together and a new picture emerges, not mechanical, but musical, not fixed, but fluid. Reality, like a hologram, responds not to logic, but to rhythm. A dynamic, living image arising from fields of encoded information. And it doesn't stop there. Quantum entanglement shows us that particles separated by vast distances can still act as one. The observer effect reveals that consciousness changes reality just by witnessing it. These phenomena defy classical logic, but they start to make sense in a holographic framework, because in a hologram, distance doesn't matter, and everything is connected at the source, which leads to a stunning conclusion. You are not separate from the universe. You are woven into its very code. You're not just in the projection, you are part of what's projecting it. But here's the twist. While physicists stumbled onto this truth in recent decades, there were others who already knew, long before equations, long before telescopes or particle accelerators. The ancient mystics had already mapped this hidden architecture, because for them, the world was always a symbol, a veil, a sacred illusion waiting to be decoded. And now, it's time to look back, because the past may hold the future of our understanding. Let's go deeper into the ancient records of cosmic illusion. Part 2. Ancient Teachings of the Holographic Universe. Long before string theory or quantum entanglement, ancient mystics were already mapping the fabric of existence. In the Hermetic tradition, there is a single phrase etched into the emerald tablet that unlocks the entire mystery. As above, so below. This wasn't metaphor, it was instruction. The idea that every layer of reality mirrors another, infinitely, fractally, perfectly. To the Hermeticist, your soul is not in the universe is in your soul. The Gnostics took it further. They claimed the material world, what you touch, see, and suffer through, is not the original. It's a projection, a false layer, cast like a shadow by beings known as archons, who feed on forgetfulness and fear. To them, true reality existed beyond this illusion, accessible only by awakening the divine spark within. Sound familiar? In Vedantic philosophy, the concept of Maya is nearly identical. Maya means illusion, not that the world doesn't exist, but that it doesn't exist the way we think it does. What we call reality is a dream experienced by Atman, the soul, who has forgotten its part of Brahman, the source. The ancient Egyptians encoded this same truth through symbol. The Jed pillar, representing stability and cosmic order, mirrored the human spine. The eye of Horus reflected the pineal gland, the projector. Initiates moved through the temple of Luxor as if through their own body, each chamber a chakra, a layer of being. And in Kabbalah, the tree of life is a map of mirrored worlds, called Olamot. The highest world, Atziluth, is pure light. The lowest, Asaya, is dense matter. But all are interlinked, like light through a prism, with each sephira reflecting the whole in holographic fashion. Different cultures, different languages. Same truth. The world you see is not the world that is. It is a layered reflection, cast by higher realms, filtered through your perception, and shaped by the state of your awareness. So what does that mean? It means the structure of reality isn't out there. It's encoded in here, inside your myths, your breath, your symbols, your dreams. And it raises a deeper question. If every illusion is a mirror, who is doing the projecting? Because ancient mystics all agreed on one thing. You are not just a participant in the hologram. You are its generator. The light bends because you observe. The veil lifts because you dare to look. And if the ancients could see this truth without microscopes or telescopes, what else have we forgotten to remember? Part 3. Consciousness as the projector. What if everything you call reality is being projected by you? Not your personality, not your thoughts, but something deeper, your consciousness. Science has long tried to reduce consciousness to brain chemistry, just neurons, chemicals, and evolution. But no matter how far we dissect the brain, we never find the observer. This is what David Chalmers called the hard problem of consciousness. Because awareness doesn't seem to come from the brain, it seems to contain the brain. More and more physicists, neuroscientists, and mystics are beginning to agree on something radical. Consciousness isn't produced, it's primary. Everything else is a projection within it. Think about that. Just like a hologram, where a 3D image is encoded on a flat surface, your experience of space, time, and matter may be encoded within consciousness. Your mind isn't just looking out at the world. It's filtering, shaping, collapsing probability into form. In quantum physics, this is known as the observer effect. Until something is measured or observed, it exists only as possibility, but the moment it is seen, it becomes real. So, what if the universe behaves like a simulation, not because it's fake, but because it's interactive? Because your attention is the cursor. Your perception shapes the program. Want evidence? Consider mirror neurons. Your brain lights up the same whether you perform an action or watch someone else do it. You're wired to blur the lines between subject and object, between watcher and watched. Or look at the placebo effect. A sugar pill heals simply because you believe it will. Intention isn't imagination, it's instruction. Even your DNA can shift expression based on mindset, emotion, and belief. That's not theory, it's biology. You're not just in the hologram, you're adjusting its frequencies through thought, emotion, memory, and resonance. And yet, if reality is this malleable, why does it feel so convincing? Why do we suffer, doubt, forget who we are? Because you didn't come here to escape the hologram. You came here to play in it, to learn, to awaken, to choose. You see, this isn't just a theory, it's a mirror, and the one reflecting in that mirror is you. The you beyond ego, the you beyond story. The silent witness behind every heartbeat, every decision, every timeline. You are the projector, and the world, the screen. Transition to part 4. But every projector needs a screen to shine onto, and in this cosmic cinema, that screen is something ancient and forgotten. It's called the veil, and to move beyond illusion, you first have to know what's covering your eyes. Let's peel it back. Part 4. The Mechanics of Illusion. How the hologram holds together. If the universe is a hologram, the next question is obvious. What holds it all together? Why doesn't it feel like a projection? Why does it feel solid, real, emotional? Because this illusion, this cosmic simulation, was built with exquisite precision. It isn't chaos, it's coded. At the heart of all form lies sacred geometry, the spirals in your DNA, the proportions of your face, the orbits of the planets. All follow the same patterns. The Fibonacci sequence, the golden ratio, the flower of life. These aren't just beautiful shapes. They're structural codes, blueprints for reality. They give the illusion of stability, of coherence. But form is only one layer. What gives the hologram its depth? Its emotional gravity is resonance, your memories, traumas, dreams. They replay in cycles, not by chance, but by frequency. Archetypes, the hero, the lover, the trickster, the shadow. These aren't just characters. They're the default programs of consciousness, and stories are the delivery system. In this world, narrative is gravity. That's why we're drawn to myth, why we cry at movies, why love feels like destiny. The hologram holds because we believe it. And that belief is constantly reinforced. You experience life through patterns. People say the same things. You see the same numbers. You meet different faces. but live the same lessons. Why? Because just like a game, the universe offers repeat levels until you choose differently. Even glitches show up, clues in the code. Ever experienced the Mandela effect? You remember one version of history, but the world insists it was another. A logo changed. A scene from a movie vanished. Reality blinked, and no one else noticed. That's not a bug. It's a reminder. A whisper from the system. You're in the program, but not of it. Even NPCs, people who seem scripted, reactive, flat, may not be fake, but may simply be running on unconscious code. Their presence prompts you to wake up, to stop reacting, and start remembering. This is where mysticism meets simulation theory, where Plato's cave meets the Matrix, where Buddhism's Maya meets quantum physics. You are not a prisoner here. You are a participant, a user, a node, a dreamer within a dream. The illusion feels real because it has to. Otherwise, the growth wouldn't matter. Transition to part 5. But here's the real secret. The hologram wasn't made to trap you. It was made to transform you. So the question is no longer, is it real? It's, what do I do inside it? And that takes us to the final level. Part 5. Awakening within the hologram. What if the purpose of the hologram was to wake up the soul inside it? You were never here to escape the illusion. You came to remember you were dreaming, to realize this entire reality isn't just happening to you. It's happening through you. The hologram, this dance of light and frequency, is not a prison. It's a mirror, and like any mirror, it reflects not what you want to see, but what you need to remember. You start to notice it. In the strange alignments, the symbols that repeat, the number that follows you, the thought you have, that someone speaks aloud a second later. Synchronicities are not accidents. They are holographic activations. Moments where the code blinks, as if to whisper, "Are you watching closely?" And then the dreams begin. Not just any dreams, but vivid visions, lucid experiences. You wake up in the middle of them. And more importantly, you wake up in the middle of your life. Your perception sharpens. The veil thins. The illusion no longer feels like a trap, but a teaching ground. Because to awaken in the hologram means this: you stop reacting. You start responding. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What is this showing me about myself?" You remember that everything is symbolic. Every encounter is a reflection. Every challenge is a message. Every moment is a mirror. And when you truly realize that, you stop chasing escape. You start practicing alignment. How? With intention, with ritual, with sound, light, and symbol. These are not ancient relics. They are tools for reprogramming the hologram. When you chant a mantra, when you trace a sigil, when you sit in silence with a clear heart, you are speaking to the code. Because the universe is not listening to your words, it listens to your vibration. And vibration is shaped not just by thought, but by conscious will. That's why healing is real. That's why beliefs shape biology. That's why inner work rewrites outer life. Because the code doesn't lie, it reflects. So what happens when you raise your frequency? The hologram updates. New people arrive. Old patterns dissolve. Opportunities emerge. Doors open because you opened. And then something deeper unfolds. You don't just awaken to the illusion. You awaken to your role inside it. You are not just a player. You are the dreamer of the game. The simulation doesn't control you. You are the source code -- learning how to speak its language again. Symbols, emotion, intention, stillness. This is how you shape the hologram from the inside out. Because the veil isn't outside you. It's the part of you that forgot who you are. So now the choice returns. Keep living the default script, or start rewriting the projection. Final image. A lone figure stands in the dark, gazing up at a sky full of stars, and in that silent moment, the stars look back. Because you are not in the universe. The universe is inside you, and it's finally remembering its own reflection. Final question. If the illusion responds to your will, what new reality will you dare to dream into being? Final CTA. If the universe is a hologram, then you're not just inside it. You are the projector, the observer, the codebreaker, the dreamer, waking up inside the dream. So stop waiting for reality to make sense. Start shaping it. Subscribe now. And unlock the sacred science behind your own perception. Because reality isn't something you obey. It's something you code, or be coded by. Next episode teaser. The Great Pyramids, were they really power plants? What if the most iconic structures on Earth weren't tombs, but technologies?